You don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
The future of Ukraine is uncertain tonight after an explosive confrontation in the Oval Office. It started after a deal exchanging Ukraine's minerals for American aid fell through. Thank you for joining us at 9 o'clock. I'm Jessica Janner-Castro.
I'm Steve Solis. Then meeting quickly turned tense and a remarkable argument playing out in public view, setting shockwaves around the world. Gabe Gutierrez has the latest from the White House.
Tonight, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy leaving the White House early and empty-handed after an explosive confrontation in the Oval Office.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
Barely an hour before, the visit had started with a cordial handshake, a joke, and kind words.
It's an honor to have President Zelenskyy of Ukraine, and we've been working very hard, very close.
Both leaders had planned to sign a deal giving the U.S. access to Ukraine's rare earth minerals, designed to pay back the U.S. for billions of dollars in aid, seen as a crucial step for a possible broader peace deal between Ukraine and Russia.
I think that President Trump on our side.
But Zelenskyy also disagreed with Trump, arguing the U.S. must offer security guarantees in any ceasefire deal.
That's why we will never accept just ceasefire. It will not work without security guarantees.
Soon, the meeting took a sharp turn when Vice President Vance mentioned talks with Russian President Putin.
The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy.
That word, diplomacy, prompted Zelenskyy to interject that Putin had broken a ceasefire before.
What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media.
The exchange devolved quickly.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
Remember
this.
Exactly
you're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
I'm not
cards.
Playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
Yeah,
you're playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of
war.
millions of people. You're
you,
gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
There is a rally planned for tomorrow in Seattle for those supporting Ukraine's fight for peace. King 5's Madison Wade spoke with a Ukrainian refugee following that contentious meeting at the White House.
Refugees I spoke with say that they are frustrated and scared. Frustrated over what happened today between President Trump and President Zelenskyy, and also scared over their safety in the U.S. under refugee status.
I was born and raised in Kyiv. I lived there my whole life.
Lena Ngo is Vietnamese Ukrainian, now living in the U.S. She fled the war 3 years ago and now works to raise awareness that peace is needed in her home country.
We want peace more than anyone. And now we are accused that it's us who want to continue this war. We don't want to continue this war. We want justice.
Lena has strong reactions to what happened between President Donald Trump and President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in the Oval Office.
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
It makes me angry when Ukraine is pointed out as as a country that started this war. We never wanted this war. Who wants war?
I was horrified and disgusted and frankly ashamed. Saddened, and my phone is blowing up with messages from my Ukrainian friends in Ukraine, and then my soldier buddies, my Legion brothers who are still over there fighting.
Carl Larson is the president and co-founder of the Ukraine Defense Support, a nonprofit that works to bring international aid to Ukraine. Lena Ngo also works for them.
We all hope and pray that American support continues. In fact, should ramp up dramatically. But even if it doesn't, the Ukrainians will certainly keep fighting.
We will stand as long as it's needed, as long as we can, but without support of without the support, we can't stand longer.
Ukraine Defense Support is holding a rally tomorrow afternoon at the Waterfront Park called Victory, Not Surrender. They hope by sharing their message, more aid will continue to come in for people in Ukraine fighting to end the war. In the studio, Madison Wade, King 5 News.